Once you introduce a book, it starts, I mean, there are books that go like that forever, but basically most normal books, you go like that and then you drop off and towards zero. When I started blogging, it definitely kicked the second life into my book. Literally, the first one was, late December 31st, 2005. I get about, 10,000 page views a day. That is really about, 7,500 uniques a day. But then that doesn't count the people who get an RSS feed. 16,000 subscribe to the RSS feed. So if you add 16,000 and 7,000, it's 23,000. But not everybody comes to the blog every day. I don't know. It's 10 or 20,000. I try to write essays that are the equivalent of short chapters in a book. And the test for me is that someone would read my blog entry, although not every entry will pass this test. They'll read a blog entry, they'll forward the permalink, or they will print it out and tack it to their bulletin board as a list of tactical things to do to improve something. I want people to take action after they read my blog. I can't think of a real downside to doing a blog. Maybe some people think you'll give away the secrets so no one will read the book. That's ridiculous. You would think that anybody who's going to read your book has already read your book. It's not true. Any author who doesn't have a blog is making a serious mistake at this point. I fear, though, that most authors would say, "What's a blog?" to this day. I can't tell you that the purpose of my blog is to sell more books. It's more about building a brand that will buy, who knows what in the future, will hire me to speak. An entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur may read my blog, decide that, this is a venture capitalist with his head screwed on straight, so I want to take my deal to him. It's not as obvious as blog, therefore you'll sell X copies, multiply that by your royalty rate, and you'll figure out how much money. It's not that simple. The bulk of the market has not yet been tapped, because even to this day, blogging takes considerable effort. It's about setting up an account and mastering some software and doing all that. So when it gets even easier than that to do online publishing and not having to figure out servers and hosting and all that, that's the next. And I think every time you go down that curve, you probably increase it by 10 to 50 times the number of people it's relevant to. I guess you could make the case if there's 45 million bloggers, there'll be 450 million in the next curve.